Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Avalanche, ticker Avax against USDT. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, jumping into the weekly chart right now, we are on TradingView. By the way, if you haven't seen the previous update, it's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the video. Now, I'm just going to extend this Fibonacci retracement just by a bit. Okay, so last video I did give you this target at $132 and that was met perfectly, as you can see, and we wicked above this area and now we're just hitting our head on it quite a bit. So if we see any Bitcoin pullback, then I would imagine we would come back down to the 1.272 on the fib at around about $100 because we have broken through this area and we haven't back tested it as support. So that's something that I would imagine is on the horizon, unless, of course, we have a strong parabolic movement and we get to the 1.618 in quick fashion. Now, the 1.618 over here is the target after breaking this previous swing high on the Fibonacci retracement. Once you break this, you are in a technical target to this. And obviously, to get to the 1.617, it has to get through the 1.414 first. Okay, so, and with the 1.414, obviously, just like with the 1.272, you have to break above, backtest as support. So if we get to the 1.618, and what do you do then? Well, it depends on what your targets are. Do you think AVAX can go higher? Do you care if AVAX goes higher? If you don't care and you're holding for the next 5 to 4 years, you don't have to worry about these prices. Just stake your coins and that's it. Because in this bull market, we can get so overextended that we even get to the second fib level over here at $394. But that is quite a bit of a stretch for me. But we've seen BNB do it. We've seen Solana do it. So why not? We potentially can get there. But would I be sitting with my coins and waiting for an entry point, for an exit point at $300 and almost $400? No, because first of all, I personally don't think we're going to get there in this bull market unless we get into an overextended bull market. Then the targets may shift a bit, right? But as of now, I'm not expecting an overextended bull market. I'm expecting a peak to come somewhere in December and maybe early mid-January. That's it. Now, depending on the pullback that we're going to have in December or January, we're going to be able to understand whether we're going to be in for an extended bull market or whether we're going into a bear. And obviously, we won't understand that straight off the bat. But for example, if we see a 60% correction, just like we had over here, and then we have the next move up towards summer of next year, like basically we have the same thing over here just in January and December, that means that we can enter an extended bull market. And this will be like, May, April of next year. And then we're going to have the move towards the bear market. Or we're going to have a pullback within the next couple of months towards an 80% pullback basically on Bitcoin, 90% pullback on all altcoins. And that is on the horizon, guys. Don't think that we're super bullish just because everyone says we're bullish and we're entering a super cycle. I'm not here to spit any FUD at you, but I'm just saying that you have to be responsible with your money because you don't want to risk your assets and your money and your well-being based on someone else's words. You have to do your own research. You have to have that risk management at all times. So, like I said, depending on what pullback we're going to have, we either go to the bear market in January and December, or we either have a 60% pullback and then the next leg up, which will be the final leg of the bull market. And after that, somewhere in May, April, we're going to have the pullback into the bear. Nobody knows how it's going to play out, but a lot of people are starting to talk about the super cycle, and that's what people have been talking about in 2013, 2017, and they're going to be talking about it in the next bull market. But are we going to get a super cycle? I don't know. Probably not yet. We're probably going to stick to our 4-year cycle as long as Bitcoin is still having, as long as we're still not in the mass adoption kind of stage just yet. Okay, this is not enough mass adoption for the Bitcoin not to pull back 80%, because whales are going to pull the price back down so they can buy in lower. So, just keep that in mind. So my last entry point would be here at $192, and I may just leave 10% of my AVAX coins left just to see how far they can ride out. Okay, so that's maybe what I would do. Now, let's jump into the daily chart. All right, now here on the daily chart, you can see that we're bouncing off this white trend line. So I'm going to remove this pink trend line because we sort of don't need it anymore, right? We don't need it, at least for now. And you can see that we're actually holding this white trend line as support very nicely. We had a little fake out over here, but we recovered pretty fast. And as you can see, this is going to be our trend line. Now, once we start losing this trend line, then I would start looking at some other potentials, like maybe we could come back to the 52 on the RSI. Obviously, no one knows when you're going to have the move towards the downside, but you can perhaps start applying some support and resistance levels and see where you land on those. For example, if you start losing this white trend line, you may come back to this white trend line. Why? Because it's been tested as resistance twice. We broke above it, we back tested it as support over here, and now we can potentially hold it as support later. So for example, if we start coming back down here, back test as resistance, you can land on this support trend line. So just keep that in mind. And failing all these trend lines, you look at this middle one at 52 on the RSI. Okay, now jumping into the daily chart on Binance, we do have a Fibonacci retracement set up over here from the swing high September 23rd to the swing low October 12th. And you can see that we've actually got overextended over here from the 20 EMA, and the 20 EMA itself is overextended from the 55 EMA. And right now we're sitting on the second fib level over here, and we're holding it as support. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to consolidate while the 20 EMA catches up, while the 50 EMA catches up. But I don't think that's going to happen, right? AVAX is doing pretty strong. It's getting rejected from the 2.272. And right now, let's check if we have any bearish divergences. Completely overextended on the RSI, completely overbought, guys. So if this is a speculative trade for you, then it's a good time to start taking profits. If not, hodl until you think it's good to sell. Now, stochastic is showing us overbought as well, and the MACD is a bit overextended over here as well. So we're potentially going to start coming back down and heading into the bearish cross territory, or we're going to start pulling back on the EMA and having that squeeze. Okay, so those are two possible scenarios. And obviously, if we get a bearish cross, that would be a confirmation of a downtrend, and the downtrend would have already started by then because the MACD is a lagging indicator. Okay, now let's take a look at the 10 EMA. What I do want to see is us hold the 10 EMA because, as you can see, we've held it pretty nicely over here. We had these nice wicks off of the 20 EMA. And failing that, you can potentially look for the 35 EMA to enter. So what I do is I just bring out the 20 EMA, the 55 EMA, the 10 EMA, the 35 EMA, the 80 EMA, the 100 EMA, and the 200 EMA, okay? And I try to use all of those to see where we have nice levels of support. So right now, our potentially last target on this fib would be the 2.414, and that is sitting at $152. So yeah, AVAX has been an absolute beauty, and I was gonna start getting into it last July, but I ended up putting all my money into Cosmos. Well, not all of my money, but I ended up putting the majority of my money into Cosmos, and Cosmos hasn't appreciated that well, but I'm still bullish on Cosmos. It still is gonna have its run up, but AVAX has done tremendously well over here. I do want to bring your attention to the gap in between the EMAs. That is always unhealthy to have such a large gap. So when we potentially and inevitably get to the peak of the market, we're going to have a correction. And what you're going to see happen is that the 20 EMA is going to be so vertical that you're not going to hold it as support. You're going to fall back down to the 55, and you're not going to hold the 55 because it's going to be vertical as well. And you're just going to fall down into obscurity, basically. And you're just going to have to find support either on the 200 EMA that's sitting all the way down here at $50. And usually altcoins pull back in a bear market of around about 90% correction they have, right? So let's say we get to $190 and a 90% correction or a 95% correction would be somewhere around $10. So even if you get out at $160, right, you're still going to be able to buy around about $10 to $12 to $20 in the bear. So think of that, and think on a bigger scale. Always think on a bigger scale. So the 10 EMA is something that I do want to see held support if we start losing the second fib level. Other than that, you have your support levels. You can potentially look at a nice pullback towards the 1.618 over here, because we haven't really retested that. We potentially can come back here and back test this area as support, $106. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know if I missed out anything on the charts. Feel free to check out my Patreon, guys. I do have 5 different tiers over here, and I do early low cap gem calls. I share with you everything that I buy, everything that I sell, everything that I'm eyeballing. We have video requests, personal technical analysis requests, more personal one-on-one connections. And, check this out. It's going to be linked down below in the description. Think of it as buying a cup of coffee, but instead of the coffee, you get a lot of useful information early, and you get a lot of information that will potentially make you quite a bit of money, and you're obviously going to get back your investment into the Patreon. So, think of it that way. Let me know what you think. I'm open to suggestions all the time. Make sure to check me out on Twitter, the Telegram chat, and we do have a Discord server as well. All the links are going to be down below in the description. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night. Also, guys, make sure to check out ExpressVPN. This is the best VPN that we have here in the space. And since we are in the crypto space, it is very important to keep our data safe, because a lot of people are looking to take advantage of you. And this is, like I said, the best VPN that we have over here. 24/7 customer support. It's available in 94 countries, has more than 3,000 servers, 30-day risk-free. You can get your money back if you're not satisfied, so they don't keep your logs. And basically what this does is it protects your data. It encrypts your data, so your local network providers cannot see what you're doing. Your governments can't track you down and track down what you're doing. You can download this onto your phone, your laptop, console, whatever it is. It's very convenient and easy to use. Now, it is useful for us in the crypto space as well, because as you know, for a lot of the American citizens, some exchanges do limit their abilities and what they can buy. So, a VPN would be their best choice to kind of go around that and take advantage of that in a sense. And it's also useful to combat censorship. For example, if you're living in the US and you want to access some content that's only available in Japan on Netflix or whatever streaming platform you're using, then a VPN is your best friend. In this case, you can switch your IP address to a Japanese one, and then you'll be able to view all the Japanese shows. Plus, you can pay with Bitcoin, so you can support and really bring in mass adoption yourself. And right now, you can get the 12 months package with a 35% discount. So feel free to check it out. Obviously, it would support the channel if you would use the link down below in the description. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one.